The real estate market in Portland, Oregon is a little confusing to say the least. It's time to take a look at the very latest stats and trends for our local market and see if we can make some sense of what's going on. Hi everyone, RRMilligan here, bringing you the very latest in our local real estate stats and trends. It's for the full Portland metro area, including Southwest Washington. If you are curious about a specific community in the metro area, just drop a message in the comment section here or reach out to me however you like to communicate. All of my contact details can be found in the video description here. First up, our sale prices. We started out November with a couple of weeks of sale prices in positive territory, but this most recent week of sales really flattened out those earlier gains. The average sale price was down 2% compared to the previous week and down 3% compared to the same week last year. As I've mentioned in the past, we can see some volatility in our week-to-week numbers. That's due to the relatively small sample size that we're working with here in the metro area. You can see that here in this graph. When we do pull back and take a look at the larger picture, the sale prices so far for the month of November, the average sale price came in a mere $45 higher than the same time period in 2024. The previous week, we were looking at gains of around 1.2%, so those earlier gains this month were literally flattened out this past week. The supply of homes for buyers to choose from continues to fall, but that's pretty normal for this time of year. Buyers still have around 15% more homes to choose from compared to last year at this time. That's the second week in a row that we've had numbers in that range. One of the things that did catch me off guard this week was the number of sellers who did price reductions this past week. As you know, we've been seeing a really elevated number of price reductions week after week, but for the first time in several months, the number of price reductions this year was below what we saw last year at this time. That's by no means a new trend, but it is something to keep an eye on. Buyer demand keeps chugging along in the Portland metro area. The number of new purchase contracts agreed to by buyers and sellers was up by about 3% compared to the previous week. Lockbox opens is another one of our metrics for buyer demand, a measure of high intent buyers out looking at homes with their agents. In our most recent set of numbers, lockbox opens were up almost 10% compared to what we're seeing in 2024. This increased demand is in line with what we're seeing nationally, and I will pop a graphic at the end of this video to show you what that national trend is. Next up, our mortgage rates. The 30-year fixed mortgage moved up to 6% last Friday. That's a best case scenario on the best advertised rate I could find in Portland. That's pretty much where rates stayed. However, we did get a very delayed and better than expected jobs report for September now that the government is back open. And the yield on the 10-year treasury as a result started to fall, indicating that mortgage rates may dip back below that 6% mark by Friday morning. If that is the case, I will post a note in the comment section here. So that's what I have for you this week. So let's wrap up the report with a quick summary of the biggest trends that we're following. Sale prices were down, supply was also down, demand, however, was up, and mortgage rates were once again flat. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's report. I hope that you got something helpful and informative out of it. If so, I'd really appreciate a like or even a subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great weekend, and I will see you right here next week.